Mora.
First round.
Gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I want to remind you both to protect yourself and obey my commands. God bless you both. Touch up now.
Navarrete, not always the most precise of punchers, but my goodness, he throws a few, and he is heavy-handed. Won his title from Isaac Dogbo, I beg your pardon, back in December 2018. Won a rematch against the same guy, 4 subsequent defences, including one on the undercard of Tyson Fury's last fight against Oscar Valin, against Juan Miguel Elorde, and then it was a spectacular 4th round knockout. If you've not seen him before, sometimes takes a minute or two just to look at the guy in front of him, but then the whole kitchen sink and the lot, it all goes in.
And as he proves against Dogby, that he has a really good engine. A really good engine. Can keep it going for 12 rounds.
Talking about the possibility of him fighting Guillermo Rigondo. He recently became a world champion once again. Brilliant Cuban.
Brilliant avoided Cuban.
Now the WBA bantamweight champion beat Liborio Solis earlier this month. Navarrete turned pro at the age of 17. He's now 25. Hasn't lost a fight since 2012. And reputedly won 108 out of 115 as an amateur.
Just finding his range here, isn't he, Navarrete? Torn out with the jabs, having a good look, as you already mentioned, John. He has a little good look. Once he finds the range, then he usually wants to go to work pretty quickly.
He doesn't hang about. When he sees an opening, he will go for it.
We're not far off of that left hook there.
He's stopped 12 of his last 13 opponents, Navarrete. Big lad for a super bantamweight, and the long reach.
Just used it there then with a nice long miss for the right hand and a lovely long left uppercut. Not quite stepping in with the left hand yet, is he, with the jab? You just have to be careful there, pouring with the jab.
First time Santisima has fought away from the Philippines.
But looks confident.
He won his last 17, and he's won 15 of those inside the distance. But he checked out the reach difference between them there, Barry. It's 72 inches, Navarrete. big reach for a super bantamweight. Santisima, some 4.5, nearly 5 inches less.
Oh, good shot there from Navarrete. Lovely left hook, uppercut.
Signs that he is starting to find the range now.
Nice left hook there from Santisima. Finished the round.
Quietish opening round, but once he started to get into his step, Santisima here was a little bit on the receiving end, and a bit of blood already coming from his nose. Andy Lee watching on. They're gloving up. Deontay Wilder there, Andy Lee representing the Tyson camp, of course, which they do. Mark Breland there is the man putting the wrapping on the hands of Deontay Wilder. He was a hell of a fighter back in the day.
Brilliant, stand up nice and long, technically really good. Linda Gomelis, world champion. Not bad to have in your corner, is it?
Andy Lee, a wise head in that corner as well tonight. Looks like something out of a Great Gatsby film when he's away when he's away from the ring, but he's a guy who is a very tough man and knows the game inside out.
And he's turning into a fantastic trainer as well, he really is.
So second round of this WBO world title fight. Champion Emanuel Navarrete in the silver and blue shorts.
Well, he probably hasn't seen too much of Santisima, so I think for me, he's just taking his time and having a look what's on offer. I think they're pouring him with the jabs to see what comes back from the Filipino, and I think you can see Santisima wants to look to slip inside, come in with the left hook. Just got to be careful he doesn't overcommit and lean over that front foot and get caught with something from Navarrete.
Biggest fight of his life, of course. Philippines craving as a nation a new Pacquiao from somewhere.
It's a nice solid jab.
Not too many of those come along, are there?
No, not in a lifetime, not at all. Looks to me that Navarrete is just trying to force Santisima to make a mistake here, just to maybe overreach with something. He's not quite committing with the shots, is he? Just tapping him a little bit, and that's good there from Santisima. Though, nice little right hook to the body.
Yeah, having given Navarrete the huge build-up, he's been reasonably circumspect by his standards to this point.
Professional, I would maybe call it, John, to be honest. He's in with a guy he knows very little about.
That's a nice jab from Santisima.
Good right hand as well there from Santisima. Looks so relaxed though, Navarrete. Almost looks like he's sparring, doesn't it?
Signs that he's just upping the tempo a little in the second.
But it's smooth, isn't it? Nice and easy, isn't it? I think it's a quite professional approach, I think. He's taking his time. Just because you know very little about a guy who's boxed his whole career in his home country. But he does have a puncher's record. You probably just want to feel if he has enough weight, if it's not just a built-up record, that he genuinely is a puncher. That's good right hand there from Santisima.
Another competitive round, but Navarrete still nevertheless having the edge.
Yeah, quite comfortable, I thought. He just relaxed one, he's just taking his shots, not quite committing, not following through with the punches yet, not really a lot of weight on those shots. I'm sure the intensity will improve as the rounds go on.
Eso me gusta porque te estás moviendo bonito, te estás viendo bien. Sí. O me empieza a pegar ya más. Ya no me voy a estar, yo lo voy a
plethora of Navarretes in that corner.
Vamos bien, pega. Bien. Güey, así bonito, así como estás haciendo. Lúcete, trabaja.
Family affair.
Pinche buen aquí, bien movidito, tu izquierdita, pum, pum, pero también de repente hay que empezar a presionarle un poquito más. Hay que echar la agüita aquí. Echar aquí. Esto se ve para así, bonito, igual. De repente presiónale.
12th rounder, of course, this, and on Barry's card, Navarrete comfortably trousering the first two rounds. Pocketing.
Okay, John. Shot there from Santisima. Nice little right and left hook to the body. Switch of stance here, as he did just at the end of the round there, Navarrete. Got caught with the left hook there, just a little bit off balance there, Navarrete coming forward.
Hammered in a couple of body shots as well.
That's a bit more weight in that right hand.
Yeah, there's a bit
And
of
the
a
body
more,
shot.
bit of a more business-like look
Oh.
about him now. He's put his foot to the accelerator a little, you sense.
I think Santisima just felt that left hook to the body. Just took a little jog there. Good right hand again there from Navarrete.
Already looking as though he may well be too good for this Filipino.
Just waiting too long there, Santisima there to mount the attack.
Said beforehand he was going for a knockout victory here, Navarrete. And he's really gone to work here in this third round. Good right hand back though from Santisima, who the Mexican confesses he hadn't seen before the fight was announced.
And that's why I thought it was a professional approach. Just took his time, but now he's starting to put more weight in the shots. Good right hand for Navarrete. Just see there's been more meaning behind some of this work now.
Says his heroes are the likes of Julio Cesar Chavez, Juan Manuel Marquez. He wants to remain remembered as one of the great Mexican champions.
That's good there for Santisima. And a real go back there.
Oh, he takes one after the bell. Referee Russell Moore stepping between them and allowing Navarrete a little bit charitably to get away with that.
That was a hard round there though for Santisima, that really was. But to his credit, yeah, really popped out. That was early in the round there with that good right hand to the body, but
again, he's so relaxed though. That was that decent counter from Santisima, but when he went back to the corner at the end of this, and he clearly seems to have touched the accelerator,
yeah,
really injected pace and power. He just looked so relaxed, not even hardly blowing when he went back to his corner.
the difference is that he was just tapping with the punches in the first few rounds. He did just loading up, not loading up, there's more weight in the shots, but he's not loading up, so he is still nice and relaxed.
That's where we are, the MGM Grand Garden. Our main event tonight, of course, Tyson Fury against Deontay Wilder, the rematch. Bob Arum, the promoter. Betting line's always interesting. Check that one out on the wander across from our hotel to get here, and Deontay Wilder still a slight gambling favourite. Not the massive favourite he was in the first fight. Still just about get odds against Tyson Fury, something like about 5-4 against, for those of you who like to follow the books.
Oh, good right hand there from Santisima. Lovely right hand. Again, a little bit of a lazy, just touching jab there from Navarrete, and he fires a sharp counter over the top. And again there with a right hand. See, Navarrete just brings her left hand to the chest, and it's a few times now he's been caught with that right hand counter.
Best little spell that Santisima's had so far.
But you can see him looking for that right hand, so that's where, for me, Navarrete needs a little feint.
Navarrete corner, who are sitting about 3 or 4 yards away from where we're commentating, look completely unconcerned.
Good jab there.
Gloving up continues. Just about done. Andy Lee presumably satisfied with what he's seen.
Oh, good from Navarrete there, right hand.
Oh, he's clipped. Solid left from Santisima. Not sure he was hurt badly,
No,
caught off balance, caught squared up.
He was caught off balance, but he was knocked off balance as well, John, to be fair. I don't think he was seriously hurt, you're right, but a good shot there from Santisima. He's had a good round, actually.
Stop! Let go,
Clearly
let
his
go.
best round of the fight
No.
so far.
Stop. Okay?
Russell Mora just wanting to keep it clean.
Let go.
Well,
Let him
it's
go.
not
Let him
just
go.
a walk in the park for Navarrete. He's got his attention. Santisima's efforts in this round.
A little bit low with the left hook to the body there, though. Santisima just a second ago. Got away with that. That's good work, though, for Navarrete.
Punching thin air on more than one occasion. Oh, good round, though, for Santisima. Navarrete finishing it on the front foot, looking to unload on the ropes. Here's some of the action from a really good round.
He was, to be fair. There you go. See, I don't think he wasn't hurt, but he was knocked off balance. It was a shot that knocked him off balance, to be fair.
He was square, wasn't he?
It's just a little bit of a lazy defence there from Navarrete.
Deontay
Stop.
just about ready to go. As the gloving up continues, one
Respect the bow.
hand
Time. Okay?
done.
When the
Now
bow
it is the
rings,
second.
okay?
Mark Breland completing preparations.
Cuts.
Go back.
Santisima round, that last one.
I think so. I think Navarrete came back into it at the end there with some quality shots, but I think just Santisima was the busier for me.
So moving into the fifth round, and a few people thought it might not have gone as far as this, but Santisima still very much in this. Good jab.
Good shot. Really well timed there for Navarrete.
Good shot. Santisima taking it well, being forced to cover up on the ropes.
Stop.
A bit more business-like though, isn't it, from Navarrete?
Well, he clearly lost that last
That's free.
round.
Let him go.
My Spanish, I'm afraid, is non-existent, but I assume it was something of a wake-up call, and that he would be told, come on, let's get back on it.
Let go. Let go. Stop. No knockdown. Give me gloves. Give me gloves. What you're holding.
Oh, good shot. Lovely left hook off the ropes there from Santisima. And again, that's just laziness there for Navarrete. Defensively, really poor. Oh.
Bullying him back now, though. Body shots creating the openings. The gloves are starting to come down.
Still firing back though, trying to, for his credit. It's a hard round for him.
Oh, big attack from Navarrete. Still Santisima coming back off the ropes, but there's a look about Navarrete that he won't be denied.
He doesn't load up with anything, does he, Navarrete? He's nice and loose, so he can just swing the shots
Stop.
and keep
Let
them
go.
coming.
He knows that the opening is not quite yet there to really land the big ones, but this has been a concerted attack on the body of Santisima.
Time.
Good round for the champion. Right back to business, and he does look as though he's certainly taken something out of him there. He looks a bit knackered as he falls onto his stool.
Watching Santisima go back to his corner there, he was absolutely exhausted. That was a really hard round. All these big heavy shots, they might not be concussive punches, but they're enough just to drain your energy. And he's showing bravery, he's trying to fire back on the ropes, but that was an extremely hard round for the challenger there. And Navarrete looks, for me, looks full of energy. And the fact that he doesn't load up on his shot means he can keep throwing those punches.
Put a lot into it there, though, Navarrete, didn't he? Really dug in. And having somewhat surrendered the initiative in the fourth, most emphatically reclaimed it in the fifth.
He's keep him in his place now, Navarrete. Keep popping that jab out, just keep him making Santisima reset all the time.
A little bit of switch hitting from the Mexican. And a very quiet opening to the sixth. Santisima corner getting quite excited.
Oh, good right hand there though from Navarrete. Oh, nice again.
Michael Domingo, the lead cornerman for Jeo Santisima. Oh, good body shot.
It's a nice right hand to the chin there from Navarrete, with a lovely left hook counter straight back there from Santisima. Who again shows that you can't, you just can't just hold your feet down after you hit him. He fires back every time.
There's no mug, is he?
Well, watching him, he looked a little bit straightforward to me, right in front of you, which he sort of is, but there's a little bit more guile to his work than I gave him credit for.
Much quieter round than the fifth. Maybe Navarrete just feeling, that's a decent left hand, but maybe just feeling a little bit the effects of the very high pace that he set in the previous. Give that round too, it's a close one.
Yeah, but for now, I think Navarrete scored the quality shots for me, John.
Under the one very good left hand, didn't he, in the closing stages?
Nice left hook there off the ropes, but Santisima had enough success there to maybe argue that he could have done enough, but for me, I just thought that the quality of some of the punches that were thrown there and landed by Navarrete were enough.
See there from that shot from the back of the arena that it is slowly filling up here as we move towards this hugely intriguing fight between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. Las Vegas awaits, and we're at the MGM Grand where so many spectacular boxing occasions have been staged over the years. Into the second half of the fight now. I thought that last round was close, and there is an argument that it could have gone the other way, but on your card, Barry, it's 5-1 in favour of the champion.
I think Santisima has proved better than what I thought, and certainly takes a good shot, and also fires back as well. So he's obviously not just a guy who's just everything his own way. He knows how to tough it out. But I still think, for me, Navarrete has done the better work in the majority of the fight.
Okay, stop! Let go, let go.
Navarrete increasing his work rate again in this round.
Just got to be careful not to get too untidy, because he'll get clipped coming forward again.
You're going to be critical about Navarrete. I guess you could say that he is, or can be, stylistically a little bit ragged.
But he brings that back foot forward, so and I understand maybe he wants to square up to finish with a big left hook to get a bit more maybe leverage on the shot. But also, it leaves you a bit square. Your hands go lower and you're easier to hit. Nice little left hook there coming forward.
Talking great Mexican fighters, I was reading somewhere that it's now 20 years since the first square off between Barrera and Morales.
Wow.
Where did that time go?
Unbelievable.
What a great rivalry that was. We're looking at a great heavyweight rivalry here, and Barrera and Morales was one of the great rivalries.
Kept Santisima really quiet in this round. It's a lovely strong jab there for Navarrete.
Well, Santisima has done next to nothing in this round, not really been able to land any sort of telling blows. Even that right hand there, missed the target. Clear round to Navarrete. Las Vegas and the world awaits. One more fight after this one, and then it's the big one.
Lawas ba? Lawas, lawas. Ha? Ayaw sobra kapugong. Okay? Ha? Gio, kailangan tamunok mag-Gio, ha? Okay? Champion tayo, champion tayo.
Ya no quiere. Abusado. Bien listo.
One of the clearest rounds of the fight so far, that last one for Navarrete. Santisima doing precious little as we move into the 8th. He gave Santisima the 4th, Barry, did reasonably in the 6th. That was a close one. But the rest of the way, the Mexican has dominated.
Yeah, I think so, without really looking sensational. I thought in the early rounds he was quite professional. No guy he hadn't seen before, so he just took his time and nice and relaxed. But then, and he's continued to be relaxed, so you can't criticise that. But also at times a little bit wild, and defensively a little bit not naive, but a little bit loose defensively when he's been close to the target, and has to take a few left hooks and right hands for that.
Vargas, the WBC champion, WBA champion, is Nurjan Akhmadaliev.
And they just beat Daniel Roman in a very, very close fight. Clubbing shots, aren't they? Oh, it's a lovely left uppercut there again.
Full body shot as well, solid right hand to the body.
Again, they're all tough, is Santisima. Lovely left hook to the
Firing back
body.
well, yeah.
Classy little bit of work there.
Santisima doesn't really look as though he's got the weight of shot to truly trouble the champion. Lovely.
Nice.
Just winced a bit when he threw that right hand, and I just wonder whether Navarrete is favouring the left hand now. If his hand's gone, and he certainly looked as though he winced, didn't he, when he threw that right hand?
Not sure if you caught Santisima on the top of the head there or the back of the head, maybe. He just pulled it back a little bit sharp, didn't he? Still dominating the round. Oh, the shot.
Too much wrong with that right hand, was it? Referee told him to pause on the bell and listen for the bell, and reminding him that that is precisely what he told him to do as the action continued up to the bell rang. Clear round though again for the champion, Barry.
Yeah, and again, he looks nice and relaxed. He's trying to go through the gears a little bit. He's just, I think he's a guy who takes a good shot, quite stubborn, but he hasn't done nothing for the last couple of rounds here, Santisima, and that's a little bit of a worry.
Ya, sí, nada más.
He might just be running out of gas.
Y los uppers, si no te duelen, si te duelen, güey, nomás trabájalos. De repente voltearte a la derecha, cuando te volteas a la derecha le pega más.
Se aflojó todo el vendaje también porque ya no se quitó el poder.
Sí. Dale, chingón, güey, igual, así de lejitos, ya encontraste tu distancia.
Emanuel Navarrete, the 5th defence of the WBO World Super Bantamweight title in the silver and blue shorts. On Barry's card now, a long way clear. Both of these fellas well used to blasting their opponents away. No signs of it happening here really yet.
Get the scissors ready.
Just a bit of binding coming loose on the gloves there, Santisima. With the referee shot to the corner, gets him.
Get the scissors ready.
Good body shots there from Santisima then. He's not doing nothing between, is he? That's the problem. I think the weight of the shot, a lovely jab there from Navarrete from the southpaw stance.
Yeah, the success he's had has been intermittent and not really put Navarrete in any real trouble at any stage.
Well, the success he's had has been reactive. It's been when Navarrete squared his feet up or just stayed, you know, too close to the target for too long, and then Santisima's fired back.
Still thinking that he's just showing a little bit of discomfort with the right hand, Navarrete. Again, just shook it a little bit uncomfortably. One of the perils of punchers. Damage to their own fists.
I've done some damage to boxers' fists over the years, John.
Well, I wasn't going to ask you if you had ever had problems with your fists.
Ironically, no.
Quiet round. Santisima not doing an awful lot. A lot of missed punches there.
Got scissors ready? You have scissors ready? Thank you.
Another round for Navarrete as the repairs are done to the gloves of Jeo Santisima. Deontay Wilder in his dressing room. Being kept loose by Mark Breland. Penny for his thoughts. Mr. Ramsey arriving with Brad Jacobs, CEO of the Top Rank organisation.
Michael J. Fox there.
Seconds out.
Hollywood actor who's had to live with Parkinson's now for an awful long time.
Great to see you, man.
Gordon Ramsay, a huge boxing fan.
He is, isn't he?
Big lad as well.
He's massive, isn't he? I know, yeah, surprisingly.
There he is again.
Stop.
Deontay Wilder, that is.
It's, you just feel like that Navarrete might have hurt his right hand, and maybe that's why he's just, you know.
I'm pretty convinced he
Taking it-
has,
yeah.
Barry.
But he's looked really relaxed throughout, almost like treating it sometimes like a sparring session, and just feel that he has more gears to go through. Well, we've seen him in the past go through the gears, but
He's not throwing that right hand
No.
very much at all now. This is where Santisima has to have a bit of belief, and he's not really showing it. He said before the fight that he expected it to be a great experience. He didn't talk about how he was going to win it. Maybe he's now just resigned to the fact that defeat is an inevitability, and that the best he can hope for is to go the distance against a champion who generally bowls people over.
and I think that's the problem. He's afraid to commit because he knows that he's obviously felt the weight of the shots from Navarrete without really looking seriously hurt himself, to be fair, Santisima, but he's obviously felt the power and just a little bit tentative, don't want to really commit.
Navarrete finally did throw a couple of right hands there.
Good shot there, lovely couple of right hands.
Not got him going though. Still clear-eyed, Santisima.
Getting there, Santisima landing with some nice counters there.
Yeah, but just the volume from Navarrete making the overall tally for the round
Lovely
hugely
uppercut.
in his advantage.
It was a fantastic uppercut, but that little exchange there from Navarrete. Yeah, you can see this problem with the right hand. He's not following through with the shot.
No, not at all.
Did there, though.
Well, yeah, Pretty much a one-armed attack, though, now from Navarrete. And still winning the round by a distance.
Oh, it's a hard round here, hard finish of the round here for Santisima.
Well, a very one-sided round in what's become a pretty one-sided fight.
Acá, vaquero, comanda. Respira.
Had to absorb an awful lot there.
So smooth with his punch, so puts his punch together really well in combinations, and there's always an uppercut with the lead hand there in the combination for Navarrete.
Not really throwing that right hand with any sort of intent, though, is he? He's not doing much more than touching with the right.
He's throwing it, but you can just see he's holding a little bit back, or he's pulling back with it when he throws it.
Referee looking very closely at Jeo Santisima. I wonder if they're thinking about potentially pulling him out.
I don't think we're at that stage yet, but he hasn't done much for the last couple of rounds, I think, and that was a hard finish to the round there for him. So I think there's maybe a little bit of just a watchful eye of concern.
Yeah, the ref was having a very close look at him. You don't want to see a guy take too much, even though it's a world title fight and he'll want to give him every opportunity, but he must be a street behind on the cards.
He is a street behind, but again, it's a world title shot, and you might think he could do more, but he's doing the best he can. You see he's fighting back, winning the best he can, but he's in with a guy who's much better than him. He's bigger and stronger and better.
Navarrete switching to southpaw, pawing with that right hand lead.
Well, we presume he's hurt his hand. Maybe he hasn't, but everything indicates that.
I'd be prepared to put quite a lot of money on the fact that he has, Barry. The same forced to cover up by Santisima, who's winging in a few big shots to show that he's still got something left in the tank.
Lovely left hook there, though, for Navarrete. Spinning the head round there of Santisima. He's hurt.
He is.
Blinking hurt. I think the right hand caught in there.
He's blinking uncomfortably, and this is now maybe where the referee should be having a close look. You can see he does not fancy it one little bit now. And I think this is just about all over. Referee Russell Mora, he's having a very close look.
Good body shot.
And Navarrete unloading, nothing coming back from the Filipino off those ropes.
Oh, he just fired back in time there, Santisima. The referee just about to step in.
I think a few people at ringside would like to see this ended here. And there's a danger that he's taking a little bit too much and falls to the ground exhausted.
He sat down himself there, Santisima, to be fair. He's done.
Just about spent, and Navarrete knows it. And the referee, a little bit belatedly for me, ends the fight as the towel is thrown in from the Santisima corner. And that went on a minute or so too long.
It did, but you know, the referee said to Santisima, you've got to show me something. And then Navarrete pushes to the other side of the ring, and he did try and fire back, and I think that just made it the agony prolonged for another 30 seconds, because if he's fighting back, the referee's got to get an opportunity to fight and say, oh, trouble. But yeah, it went on a little bit too long for me. The corner should have thrown the towel in a lot earlier than they did.
Yeah, it was a hard night for Santisima. Fighting outside his home country for the first time and tasting defeat as Navarrete clocks up a 6th defence of his title. Vaquero, they call him, cowboy.
And to me, I think he took. No, he might have hurt his right hand and looked that way, but he looked like he took the fight with a little bit too relaxed, maybe. Like he was
maybe underestimated.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, at the beginning, he looked like he was just, finding his range in the first couple of rounds. But when he lets his hands go,
and trying to, they're taking the gloves off in the corner right in front of us, and I can't really see too closely because there's a huge Mexican flag.
It was a torrid last round there wasn't it? The round before was hard finish to the round from Navarrete, but this finish here, and the referee there, that was a good time to step in. Maybe could have been a little bit earlier for our liking, but you've got to give a guy every opportunity at for the world title shot, and the guy showed his toughness and his bravery and had some moments of success, but was never really in the running for the race, was he?
Well, they pulled that right glove off a little bit gingerly. And we're going to get confirmation of the result from Jimmy Lennon Jr. any moment now. Our Master of Ceremonies is poised to confirm yet another stoppage victory for Navarrete, his 5th on the spin. That makes it 13 out of his last 14, which have finished quickly. Santisima brave, but I'm afraid pretty much outclassed. Still we wait for the official confirmation as they cut the binding off the right hand.
Well, the fact that they're taking the bandages off this early is a sign that maybe there is a problem with the hand.
Yeah, I mean, it looked fairly clear to me. He banged it around about the 7th round, I think, and the last four rounds or so, he was pretty much fighting one-handed.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 2 minutes 20 seconds of round number 11. Our referee in charge, Russell Mora, stops the contest. He is the winner by way of knockout and still the WBO junior featherweight champion of the world. Well, El Vaquero Navarrete.
Navarrete still the champion. He's a good champion. He wasn't at his best tonight, but won very, very clearly indeed.